Most people believe they know how human behavior works. However, the reality is that much of our actions done to follow logical patterns. Our minds are filled with hidden tendencies, unusual habits, and complex brain connections that continue to amaze researchers. Quick question before we dive in. Do you think you know yourself pretty well? Comment yes or no, then let's see if this video changes your mind. Below are 50 amazing psychology discoveries that show how your brain truly operates. 1. Speaking out loud to yourself doesn't mean you're going crazy. Actually, it shows you have better self-discipline and concentration. When you say your thoughts out loud, your brain processes these words like commands. Professional athletes, doctors performing surgery, and even expert chess players use self-talk to stay sharp and maintain their attention. Your mind is basically giving itself coaching while you redoing something. 2. Individuals whose handwriting looks messy usually have thoughts that move quicker than their ability to write them down. The disorder you see on the page actually represents a whirlwind of ideas happening at high speed. Their mental concepts are racing ahead of what their hand can keep up with. This proves they have a brain that operates faster than a pen can capture. 3. The human mind recognizes and responds to negative words much more quickly than it does to positive words. This behavior comes from our evolutionary past. Staying alive required identifying dangers before noticing good things. This explains why a single mean comment can stay with you much longer than 10 nice compliments. 4. Trying to do multiple tasks at once doesn't improve your productivity. In fact, it temporarily reduces your intelligence level. Your brain wasn't designed to handle several activities at the same time. Every time you switch between tasks, you lose some focus, which reduces your mental abilities to about the same level as someone who stayed awake all night. 5. Individuals who draw random pictures while listening to conversations actually remember more information from what they heard. Keeping their hands busy allows their brain to concentrate better on the spoken message. These random drawings aren't taking away from their attention. Instead, they help lock memories into place. 6. When your heart beats quickly, it can fool your brain into believing you re-experiencing romantic feelings. The surge of energy from being scared, working out, or feeling excited creates almost the same sensation as being attracted to someone. Sometimes what we think is love isn't coming from emotions, but from our heart rate. 7. Most individuals automatically copy the physical movements of people they enjoy being around. Whether it is crossing legs, tilting heads, or folding arms, the body quietly shows connection. It's like your body is saying, "I feel close to you." This copying behavior creates friendship without using any words. 8. Individuals who speak less frequently tend to observe more details. Being quiet makes your ability to notice things stronger. While other people are talking, the ones who stay silent are busy studying facial expressions, behavioral patterns, and important information that most people completely miss. 9. Your brain processes being rejected by others the same way it handles actual physical injury. The hurt feeling from being ignored activates the exact same brain areas that respond when you get a physical wound. When it comes to your brain, emotional injuries are just as real as physical ones. 10. The typical person tells 1 or 2 lies each day, usually to prevent arguments or uncomfortable situations. These aren't major deceptions, but small protective statements, like saying, "I'm doing fine," or "I'll arrive in 5 minutes." Lying isn't always about betraying someone. Sometimes it is a weak attempt to keep things peaceful. 11. When you chew gum, it actually makes your memory work better and helps you concentrate more because it increases the amount of blood flowing to your brain. This simple action that you don't really think about actually wakes up your mind. This is the reason why both students studying for tests and military personnel have used chewing gum as their hidden advantage. 12. Individuals who remain relaxed during chaotic situations usually went through stressful experiences when they were younger. Their body's stress response system got trained during difficult times. What appears to be natural calmness is actually sometimes a learned survival skill. They figured out how to handle pressure the difficult way. 13. Your mind comes up with more creative ideas when you feel a little bit tired. Being worn out reduces your brain's ability to filter thoughts, which allows strange and unusual ideas to come through. That thing you write down late at night could either be complete nonsense or brilliant genius. 14. Individuals who find dark jokes funny actually have stronger emotional strength. Finding something amusing in painful situations isn't about being mean to others. Instead, it works like protective gear for your emotions. Using humor is how some people manage to get through the difficult parts of life. 15. Women tend to be better at handling multiple tasks at once. Men are typically better at focusing intensely on a single task. This isn't about one gender being better than the other. It is about having different types of strengths that developed over thousands of years based on what each gender needed to do to survive. 16. Most individuals think they are less attractive than other people actually find them. We notice our own flaws when we look in mirrors and make them seem bigger than they really are, but other people see us through our movements, expressions, and quick looks. You are probably much more appealing to others than you think you are. 17. Individuals who prefer staying awake late at night are more likely to challenge people in authority positions. People who are naturally active during nighttime hours tend to push against limits, fight against what is considered normal, and create their own way of doing things. The nighttime has always been the time for people who rebel against the system. 18. Your brain can actually change and improve itself through just imagining things almost as well as it can through real practice. When you picture yourself doing a skill in your mind, it turns on the same brain pathways that get activated when you actually practice that skill. Your mind practices first, then your body learns to follow. 19. Individuals who have smaller numbers of friends usually care more about having meaningful relationships. They choose having fewer but better friendships instead of having many shallow ones, picking close connections over having lots of social noise. Their group of friends is smaller, but each friendship goes much deeper. 20. When you write down the things that worry you before you go to bed, it helps you sleep better. The paper becomes like a storage place, which frees your mind from thinking the same worrying thoughts over and over again. Good sleep comes to people who get rid of their mental burdens first. 21. Individuals who have conversations with strangers every day tend to be happier in general. Something as simple as smiling at someone working at a store or giving a friendly nod to someone who lives nearby. These small moments of human connection build up over time and give your social brain the interaction it naturally wants. 22. Quiet moments make people feel uncomfortable because silence forces them to think about themselves. We fill empty air with talking to avoid having to listen to the louder thoughts happening inside our minds. Silence works like a mirror, and most people are afraid of what they might see in their reflection. 23. Individuals who use curse words frequently are typically more honest people. Strong language skips past the polite filters we usually use. Using bad words can actually be a weird way of showing that someone is being sincere. 24. Songs that have words in them distract your brain more than music that is only instrumental. The lyrics compete for attention with your own thoughts. This explains why classical music or simple background beats can help you be more productive, while songs with words pull your focus in different directions. 25. Couples who laugh together tend to have relationships that last longer. Sharing the same sense of humor isn't just enjoyable. It acts like glue that holds people together. Every private joke between them proves they understand the world in similar ways. 26. Individuals who have high levels of empathy actually feel real physical pain when they watch other people get hurt. Special brain cells called mirror neurons react as if the injury happened to them personally. When someone feels another person, this pain, it is not just a figure of speech. It is actually how their body works. 27. People who let their minds wander and daydream frequently actually have better abilities when it comes to solving problems. Letting your mind drift isn't about being lazy. It is your brain going into a creative space where it can test out new solutions without any pressure. 28. The harder you try to chase happiness directly, the more difficult it becomes to actually find it. Happiness doesn't like being hunted down. It shows up indirectly as a result of finding meaning in life, not as something you win by going after it. 29. Individuals who walk at faster speeds tend to have longer lifespans. How quickly you move isn't to just about getting somewhere. It is actually a sign of how much energy and life force you have. Life itself seems to last longer for people who walk with energy and purpose. 30. Your brain actually changes your memories each time you remember something. Every time you recall a memory, you rewriting it slightly, the past isn't to like a video recording that stays the same. It is more like a story that gets modified every time you tell it. 31. Individuals who have high levels of intelligence often find themselves caught in the problem of thinking too much about everything. Their natural ability to analyze situations ends up becoming like a prison for them, where they turn simple possibilities into never-ending cycles of worry and consideration. Having a brilliant mind can work both for you and against you. 32. For many individuals, receiving genuine praise actually triggers more feel-good brain chemicals than getting money does. Getting approval and recognition from others activates the brain, this reward system's much faster than receiving cash payments. Deep down, people still care more about being appreciated and acknowledged than they do about becoming wealthy. 33. Individuals are much more willing to do what you ask them to do if you include their personal name when giving them directions. Hearing your own name spoken is something your brain cannot resist responding to. It activates your brain, its attention systems like a personalized wake-up call that is designed specifically for you. 34. The color blue has the ability to make individuals feel more peaceful and relaxed. Whether it comes from looking at the sky or the ocean, blue sends signals to our brain that we are in a safe place. It actually makes heart rates slow down and helps calm minds that are feeling restless or anxious. 35. Individuals have much stronger memories for events that made them feel strong emotions compared to everyday events that did not affect them emotionally. We tend to lose track of ordinary, boring moments, but our minds permanently store memories of times when we felt intense love, terror, and sadness. Strong feelings work like permanent ink for our memories. 36. Individuals who force themselves to smile frequently, even during times when they feel sad inside, actually fool their own brains into producing chemicals that create happiness. The facial expression can be fake, but the brain still believes it and responds accordingly. Sometimes feeling joy starts as an act of fighting back against feeling sorrowful. 37. Individuals who genuinely enjoy spending time alone are typically more emotionally self-sufficient than others. They get their emotional strength from within themselves rather than needing it from other people, finding contentment in their own presence instead of requiring constant approval and attention from others. 38. When people show anger, it is usually hiding deeper feelings like being afraid or feeling sad about something. The loud, aggressive behavior works like a protective shield. Underneath that tough exterior, there is often something much more delicate and vulnerable. 39. When people share their personal secrets with each other, it builds much stronger connections between them. Every time someone reveals something private, it becomes like trading in emotional vulnerability. The level of trust between people grows deeper through exchanging information that could potentially hurt them if it were used against them. 40. Individuals who regularly read fictional stories develop much stronger abilities to understand and relate to other people's feelings. By experiencing the lives of characters in books, they get practice at understanding the inner emotional worlds that other people experience. Reading stories works like a training program for developing empathy. 41. Individuals become much more likely to say yes to your requests when they are feeling physically exhausted. Being tired reduces their ability to resist or say no to things. When people are worn out, their minds become more flexible and more willing to go along with suggestions. 42. People who can forgive others easily tend to have better mental health overall. The ability to forgive is not a sign of being weak or soft. Instead, it represents emotional freedom and release. When you hold on to angry feelings and grudges, it keeps your body connected to stress. But when you let those feelings go, it sets your mind and body free. 43. Individuals have a much easier time remembering what people look like than remembering what their names are. Through millions of years of human development, we became designed to identify friends and enemies by looking at them. Names are something that humans created later, but recognizing faces has always been necessary for staying alive. 44. Individuals who have difficulty making direct eye contact with others are often people who think about things very deeply. When someone looks away during a conversation, it does not necessarily mean they are not interested in what you are saying. Sometimes it simply means their mind is going deeper into their thoughts to process what they are hearing. 45. Most of the choices that people make are based on their emotions first, and then they use logical thinking to justify those decisions afterward. The emotional part of the mind makes the decision quickly, and then the logical part comes in later to explain why that decision makes sense. Logical reasoning often shows up like a lawyer defending a case, rather than like a leader making the original decision. 46. Individuals who speak at faster speeds are usually seen by others as being more confident and sure of themselves. Speaking quickly sends a signal that you are certain about what you are saying. A person who talks fast gives the impression of having a sharp, quick mind, even when they are saying the exact same things that a slower speaker would say. 47. The human brain developed to be much better at noticing dangerous situations than at recognizing good opportunities. From a survival perspective, it was better to miss out on a chance to eat than to miss noticing a dangerous animal that could kill you. This is how millions of years of evolution shape the way we think. Being cautious and careful remains strong in situations where being optimistic and opportunity-focused might hesitate. 48. Individuals who take the time to write down their goals and objectives are 42% more likely to actually accomplish those goals. Using ink to record your intentions makes them feel more real and solid. The physical act of writing transforms dreams from being like floating clouds into something that is grounded and concrete. 49. When people experience loneliness, it actually makes their body's immune system weaker and less effective. Being isolated hurts not only a person's emotional well-being but also their physical health. Humans develop to need social connections with other people, and when those connections are missing, we start to break down both emotionally and physically. 50. And to finish, the way you choose to treat other people tells us much more about who you are as a person than it tells us about the people you are treating. Every action you take works like a mirror that reflects back information about yourself. Whether you show kindness or cruelty says less about what the world is like and more about what kind of person you are deep inside your soul. After exploring these 50 fascinating insights into human psychology, one thing becomes crystal clear. Your brain is far more complex and mysterious than you ever imagined. Every single day, your mind performs millions of invisible calculations, makes countless split-second decisions, and processes information in ways that even the most advanced computers struggle to replicate. Yet most of us walk through life completely unaware of this incredible mental machinery working behind the scenes. Think about what we've discovered together. Your messy handwriting might actually be a sign of genius. That habit of talking to yourself isn't crazy. It's your brain's way of staying sharp and focused. The way you unconsciously copy the movements of people you like, the reason you remember faces better than names, and why you feel physical pain when others get hurt. These aren't random quirks. They are sophisticated survival mechanisms that took millions of years to develop. Perhaps the most important revelation is this. Much of what you think you know about yourself is probably wrong. You're likely more attractive than you believe, more honest than you realize, and more capable than you give yourself credit for. Your brain has been shaped by evolutionary forces that prioritize survival over happiness, which explains why you notice problems faster than solutions and remember criticism longer than compliments. But here, it's the empowering part. Understanding how your mind works gives you the power to work with it instead of against it. When you know that multitasking makes you temporarily less intelligent, you can choose to focus on one thing at a time. When you understand that writing down your goals makes you 42% more likely to achieve them, you can grab a pen and start planning your future. When you realize that genuine smiles can trick your brain into producing happiness chemicals, you have a tool for lifting your mood whenever you need it. The relationships in your life become clearer too. Now you know why couples who laugh together stay together longer, why sharing secrets builds deeper connections, and why that person who avoids eye contact might just be thinking more deeply than everyone else in the room. Your brain isn't just a thinking machine. It is a survival tool, a creativity generator, a social connector, and a meaning-making device all rolled into one. It processes rejection like physical injury because emotional pain was just as dangerous to our ancestors as physical wounds. It makes you happier when strangers smile at you because human connection has always been essential for survival. The most beautiful discovery might be that your perceived flaws are often hidden strengths. Your tendency to overthink shows intelligence. Your need for alone time demonstrates emotional self-sufficiency. Your dark sense of humor reveals emotional resilience. Your habit of daydreaming actually enhances your problem-solving abilities. Understanding these psychological truths doesn't just satisfy curiosity. It offers practical wisdom for living better. You can use the power of names to get people's attention, harness the calming effects of the color blue, and recognize that anger often masks deeper feelings like fear or sadness. Most importantly, remember that final insight. The way you treat others reveals who you truly are inside. Every interaction is a mirror reflecting your character back to the world. Choose kindness not because others deserve it, but because it shows the world and yourself the kind of person you've decided to be. Your mind is not your enemy. It is not broken or flawed. It is a masterpiece of evolution, perfectly designed for the world our ancestors faced and still remarkably adaptable to the world we face today. The quirks, habits, and seemingly irrational behaviors they explored aren't bugs in your mental software. They features that have helped humans survive and thrive for thousands of years. So the next time you catch yourself talking aloud, doodling during a meeting, or feeling uncomfortable in silence, remember, you're not weird or broken. You're human. And being human, as they learned today, is far more fascinating and wonderful than most people ever realize. Your brain is working perfectly. It's time you started working with it. Tell us in the comments, are you a messy handwriter with racing thoughts? Or do you have perfect penmanship? We're curious to see the connection. If you found this video useful, please like it and subscribe to the channel. There are more videos on this channel that will help you become a better version of yourself.